you need to lay these two right here to establish this, and then that's that return.
With all this field, we got to leave that out.
All this
Right.
in the middle.
We got 2 courses per sheet, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay? And then
She's going to designate one of the fellas girls to make sure that keep their eye on these.
Yeah, keep our eyes were going up. So.
we also have some 3D views. We got stuff.
We have
2 courses.
we have one
No,
full
but this
brick.
one is core.
No,
This
one
one
full
is
brick plus 2 5 3/4.
5
Plus
3/4.
3/8 more.
5 3/4, 10, 6 8, plus 4 5 8.
This year the challenge is a Boys and Girls Club in downtown Jersey City. The Boys and Girls Club consists of a series of elements constituting recreational facilities for the local neighborhoods, but also the greater community of Jersey City. It's inclusive of ball playing fields, interior gym spaces, racquetball courts, a variety of different types of recreational activities.
Two of them, 1 for 1.
We'll have the water ones or
Let's probably have some of it later around. But you want to do it in equal amounts of each batch. Alright? Each batch needs to be.
Right, so I got a little coffee cup, same coffee cups everybody's got.
Okay.
So that should be good for something like this mortar pan? Or less?
Yes.
Yeah?
That'll be fine.
The first step is the students, obviously they have the kickoff presentation of the previous year. And in doing so, obviously they immediately realize that there's sets of skills that they're going to be acquiring here that this opportunity gives them that has to do with realizing a concept, realizing an idea, making it really into a piece that can be built and executed, even if it is a portion of the building. So right off the bat, the expectations that they know, the demands that they have are other from previous projects.
We templated it in a computer, and then we transferred all those templates to plywood via CNC machine. So went out pretty good. We built these story poles here, and now we got 8 templates, 9 templates that get repeated. We're gonna go all the way up from bottom to top.
The whole process is kind of sped up how the masons are working, and they're taking through it really well.
that one's gonna be no water.
So the bottom one I would say fill.
Yeah.
So this way the water won't lay in there. If you're up, the water will drain through. Correct?
Me and him will go for whatever we have.
We'll be able to get a bunch of coursing stuff with what we have. I think it'll be open that way. This dimension here, which is probably about half, like put up here, And then
Oh, I know this dimension. This dimension is 2 3/4. Bring that line across.
Yeah.
Do that, yeah.
The students, probably more than even the professionals like the teachers or not, they're more willing to take on, they have less inhibitions, so they're more willing to take on things which, he and I would be like, wow, that's I don't know if I can work that out. And part of it is, part of it is maybe they don't know, and part of it is they take the challenge and they're ambitious enough to go after it. and that's exciting. So every year we see these new exciting things, which again we're like, wow, they're gonna pull that off, and they always do.
They're seeing it in actual pieces for the first time. There's a couple of adjustments they wanted to make last minute, having to do with some heights. And then the next question was that there's a scheme that has bricks that are supported on 8" of their length and then cantilevered for 8". And in the build, they figured out that they've got to temporarily brace that cantilever until the mortar sets. So that's what I walk by and I look and I think, that's not our design, right? And I walk by and the student said, take it down, Professor. It's just temporarily braced. They'll pull them out as soon as it sets. And that one of the great things about this and working with the Masons is that whatever ideas we come up with, the Masons they know how to actually get it built and how to get the thing done safely.
I'm just trying to get all the heavy stuff out so I can see the little stuff that has to get knocked out.
We got the wrong measurements. We have a guy upstairs and he's telling us the height of the infill here and to the first header of the first riser. So he did it with including the mortar, and now we have it without the mortar. So yeah.
In a couple minutes when we get this up, you guys are all going to be with it.
So how does the mortar not ooze out? He said they could pack it in there. We could even pack it in the holes like that.
Okay, but you wouldn't just walk away from it. You might need to have like some bracing under it.
Oh no! Why would we need bracing if the wall holds it up? If we need bracing to hold it up, what's the point of having?
Okay, so no, while it sets.
Oh wow.
This is not an aesthetic decision. This is structural decision.
Yeah.
The wall, which you think is a 12-foot, which Charlie was really clear to point out, yeah, you guys can do this, you just have to tie it together, so it's effectively a 12-inch wall. If you don't accomplish the ties, you have 4-inch walls, 8 feet high. Someone will get hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, someone's grabbing these and yanking on a 4-inch wall, someone will get hurt.
Right.
You want someone to get hurt?
No.
So, it's not the end of the world. You just have to convince them to hold up on the schedule 5-10 minutes that they can either find something else to do or just wait. I think we have time. Go sit somewhere and work this out.
I like it. We like it. Template up, nice and easy. Coming out. What's become interesting is that our masonry professionals are now starting to work with students who have graduated from this program in the field. And there's already dialogues they're having with the professionals in the field, and the dialogue between the offices they work with and the masonry professionals in the field is so much smoother. It's made the construction process easier now for their offices, but it's also really become an enabling element for the students and their offices to make better projects, because at the end of the day, architecture is about, especially today, it's a collaborative process. A collaboration between the professionals and the designers, and more importantly, there's a mutual respect that already exists, and the students bring that to the table, but this experience brings that to the table, and now we're seeing students working with the people who are actually out here 5, 6, 7 years later, because we've got graduates in the field.
We feel really proud. I remember when he came to look at the school to see if this is where he wanted to go to college, and this was one of the places that we came and looked, and we saw these projects and it kind of grabbed our interest, and we asked around and they said it was your sophomore year that you could work on something like this, so I can't believe it's already a sophomore year. So it's very exciting.
When he came down to look at the school 2 years ago, it was during the build, so my husband and him had seen it in action, so we've been waiting 2 years to see him actually do the build. So it's very exciting to actually be here, to see him do the build and see his designs come to life. So it's so cool.
Our site is that it divided two neighborhoods pretty much, and so we were taking what divided the two neighborhoods and redeveloping it to unite them. And so pretty much these silos on our design, instead of dividing the two, it brings them together again. And it's all about, again, the program and the moments caused by them.
The concept is really about decay, and the first wall is like really smooth and has some variety, and on the top we're going to have a tank that collects water, and it's going to be funneled down through those tubes over there, and it's going to collect at the bottom. It represents the beginning of life. And then the water you're also thinking could like circulate around the mock-up, and that represents the circle of life.
The second wall it's less smooth. The first one is completely smooth, the face of it. The second one starts to decay, and it represents a play between time and how as things grow, other things are decaying. So the second one starts to get rougher, and there's more openings representing the void that you see when things start to fall apart.
It was good. Yeah, we got along really well. Like, no fights, nothing. So, yeah.
We actually got together and we just pulled this off, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Like, everyone worked in teams.
We all contributed a little bit of everything, and we just got it done, and that was pretty cool. It's all about teamwork, you know. So definitely.
Basically, we saw the Masonry project as representing the structure and an organized community, and the action of taking out a brick would represent someone that's been hurt in a community, someone that's died or someone that's been impacted, and the action of putting in a brick would represent someone strengthening the Masonry project or the community. And so we have glass blocks with names written in, and basically the names are of people in our families that dates when they've been born. And we also have quad-sized brick with also names, family members that have died in our families.
We're up in the design studios now for the second year students, and what you're really seeing behind me, this is where projects begin, this is where they develop their projects. You're going to see a variety of models that have been built, looking at different iterations and possibilities for the build. You will see a series of different types of drawings that have been done in order to get at potentially details or get at kind of interrogating how materials may be rendered or how materials may look before they make a decision on them. Basically, this is where projects develop. They start here, they continue to develop here, and as you can already see from the work outside, they're still in the process of developing. So in many ways, you're going to see individual work, but also you're going to see a lot of group work when you kind of walk through our design studios, and it may not be as neat and orderly as you would imagine, but there is a kind of organized chaos to everything that you're seeing as you walk through the design studios.
The one thing that I can say that I know personally I'm taking away from this is being able to collaborate in a group, which was way harder than I could have ever imagined it would have been. We actually, we're sort of in a different boat than every other group that you see out here, because rather than picking one project and going with it, we came together as a group and redesigned an entirely new project from scratch. So I would say the one thing I think everybody can pull away with this is literally like a true collaboration of ideas and understandings. And I mean, it's been an experience.
I was here a couple of times in 2 previous years when they were doing this. And, the first year I just walked in it by accident. I had no idea this was happening. I was overwhelmed. So then as the process went, we found out it was a sophomore project. So I said, you really got to focus, and he's really performed well. Everything he's done so far has been excellent. I think this is going to turn out the same way.
Our mock-up is basically based on walking through it in viewpoints. So every course of brick is pointing towards a different viewpoint, a different perspective, going all the way up. It repeats itself. So basically, the way our building worked was the way you move around the site is very much built on how you see things and how you move through it.
What that is over there?
So the concept behind everything is the stitching of the urban fabric of Jersey City, and doing that with 2 different materials, and the way that the fenestrations are going to interact with the way that the person moves through the actual mock-up is the way that we're integrating the stitch into the materiality, which, because brick is such a static project and the stitching is such an organic movement, the way that the wall acts becomes a very dynamic wall. It's not rigid at all. It's wild. It's impressive.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts.
It's interesting to see because no matter how much you model at any scale, once it's full scale, you get the full impact of a human space. It's really interesting to see how it results.
It's a lot of work, though.
Yeah,
a lot of all-nighters, a lot of work.
A lot of debating. So it's and we're happy to have it all come together and to see it actually come up and know that we designed it as a team.
No. Wait. 25 minus 7. We're putting in the credit card, guys. Okay. So yeah, get that cut.
Like that.
With the hard money job, I'd be jumping up and down.
I'm really glad it's actually, it's not just names. Right. It's tied through, and over time that can continue to evolve. Like as generations potentially pass away, new generations emerge, they may just be replaced.
It's Sunday, it's the second day, everything looks great. I have to say, it's amazing how the Mason and students are working together. Almost all the builds are majorly completed and we're gonna finish, we're all on time. It's really, and the sun is with us today, it's amazing.
Very impressed. I think the opportunity that it allows these students to take their design and actually see it come to a real build and understand what the challenges are. It's one thing to design things on paper, it's another to actually see them come to life.
Because like I said, you see something.
Oh yeah. You know what? I got a form on business. Do you have any idea?
Yeah, Rick's getting on all before.
One of my favorite things I do all year round is to see these extraordinary projects going up. And each year it's a big surprise. So this year, the weather is cooperating, the students are thrilled, the parents are thrilled, the faculty is thrilled. What else do you want? So the idea of the basic premise that masonry professionals and designers work together to create these things is really working. And I know we've done this now for many years, and a lot of our students that went through this experience think of this as an absolute turning point in their professional education.
We found these coconut fiber bricks, which they expand in contact with water. So we were thinking of ways to apply it to our mock-up. What we did was we decided to have this one wall that changes over time, where we'd have these in here, and over time they dissolve and expand. We also have them up there, so that when they're gone, you only see the lines of the mortar. What we're trying to do with that was represent the change over time between the mind and the body through a process that a recreation center brings about.
My God, it's incredible. We came 3 years ago to an open house here at NJIT, and we saw this happening, and we didn't understand what it was about. So when we realized it was architecture and that Travis was interested in architecture, we thought this was an experience all its own.
Well, it's late Sunday afternoon, and as you can see, the projects are coming to a completion. And the only thing left now is just the judging. And to be honest with you, here we are watching this video tonight. The judging has already happened. And guess what? I know who the winners are, and I'll tell you all in just a few minutes. But I want to congratulate all the teams on a job well done, and this year was truly the best year ever. Congratulations to all the teams.